Good morning. Please be seated, everybody. Well, a very good morning to everybody, and welcome to the 2025 DN College's Higher Education Graduation. It's lovely to see you all. My name is James Wadsworth, and I'm the HE Academic Registry Director. And I'd like to start today's ceremony by calling Mr. Danny Fennick to the turn to do our opening address.
Thank you, James. Morning, everybody. Morning. Let's try it again. Morning, everybody. Morning. There we go. That's a great start. Well, it's an absolute privilege to be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, and you'll know you are when I read these out, esteemed colleagues, governors, proud family members, friends, and of course our extraordinary students, welcome. It is a genuine pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today to celebrate your success and your graduation. You all look absolutely amazing. So graduation marks the culmination of many years of hard work, dedication and growth, and I'm deeply honoured to stand before you today as we commemorate this momentous occasion in the lives of Doncaster's finest. That's you. I'd like to acknowledge the support of other people who've supported you in your journey to graduation to this day. So success is very rarely a solo enterprise, both in and out of the classroom, and I know how the unwavering support of others has been instrumental to our students. So I'd like to acknowledge some of that support of the people in this room today. So first of all, the family. So to the partners, the parents, the sons and the daughters, these last few years will have been blooming tough for you. Inevitably, you will have had to make sacrifices. You probably have to count to 10 on a good few occasions and probably missed out on things as a family because they've got an assignment to do. You know what though? They'll be eternally grateful for the support and the resilience that you've showed to support them. To your friends, you've probably lost your best friend for the last 3 years, less trips to the pub, probably being asked to proofread assignments that you've got no idea what's in them and about the content, conversations being centred around the inconvenient dates of hand-ins and assignments. On the whole, they've probably been a little bit less boring, a bit more boring. However, your friends has been as much as, thanks to your help of the friends, you've helped your friends succeed in this graduation. So don't underestimate the impact that you've had on these graduates today. You've probably been that shoulder to cry and that safe space to release. So well done to you as well. And to the staff. In education, we're very privileged to work with students. We can help shape students and bring out the best. I thought it was a phone going off, it's a camera. So thank you so much to the staff who have supported you in your journey. I know how hard their work and their talent has supported you in your journey, and I'd like to recognise that today as well. Their passion to you, the students, and their dedication has helped you get to where you are today. You should also be very proud of what you've done, as well as the pride that you will show for your students. And most importantly, I unashamedly say to our graduates, those of you who studied in Doncaster and online, I know you will be appreciative of all those people here today to support you and who've supported you on the journey. You have successfully navigated the challenges, both academic and personal, that have come your way. I know your achievements will represent countless hours of studying, late nights, early mornings, balancing family and caring commitments, and ultimately demonstrating an unyielding commitment to your education. Your presence here today is a testament to your strength, determination, and unwavering resilience. You've not only acquired knowledge in the classroom, but have also honed important life skills that will serve you well in your future endeavours. So what does the future look like? Well, as we all know, the world is rapidly changing in many ways. It's rapidly evolving in terms of technology. This may bring a feeling of uncertainty, but it's crucial to remember that you are well prepared for what lies ahead. Your learning and experiences have equipped you with not only the knowledge to excel, but also the ability to adapt, be dynamic, responsive and flexible. You can flourish in this changing world. So I've done some research, and I've referenced this as well, a very contemporary reference. You'll all be very proud of me. So according to the World Economic Forum 2025, technological skills are projected to grow in importance more rapidly than any other skills in the next 5 years. AI and big data are at the top of the list, followed by networks and cybersecurity and technological literacy. Now, you shouldn't fear this, as most of you are more adaptable than you think. So we often make reference to our students as mature students, usually when they're over the age of sort of 21. But there'll be a number of mature students here today who are probably the other side of 40, okay? There is, you're right, absolutely. You know who you are. So this is a message to you, really, and your adaptability and your ability to be dynamic. And for the younger members of the audience and those who are under 40, some of what I'm going to say you might not know what I'm going to be talking about here. But for the more mature ones, you've probably got a good understanding. So when we talk about technological change, let's focus on one key thing. Let's focus on telephones. Now notice I emphasise the words telephones. Not mobiles, but telephones. Okay, let's go on a trip down memory lane. So we used to have telephones in our house. And these were attached to a wall with a wire. And they was usually on a table in a hallway. It was a very special table for telephones particularly. You had to walk to the telephone if you wanted to make a call or receive a call. Next to the telephone, sometimes it's on a bit of doily, next to the telephone there were usually two books. There's a directory, a blue one, and it had everybody's name and number in there in that local area. I think about GDPR nowadays and things like everybody's details in his phone book. And there was a yellow one, a really big, thick book. So if you wanted a plumber or a builder or a caterer, you'd go into the yellow pages and have a look at that. Now, if you was posh, you wouldn't appear in the blue book because you'd be ex-directory. Yeah, you know who you are. But most of us were in the book. But interestingly, all you could do on that phone, somebody's looking for a ladder, all you could do on that phone was ring people. You couldn't text on it. You couldn't take a photograph with it. You certainly couldn't take a selfie with it. You couldn't search on the internet with it. You couldn't order anything online with it. And you certainly couldn't take it to the local lockers and scan in your parcel which you've just sold on Vinted. Now, you've made that transition to just speaking to people, to using the mobile devices now, not mobile phones, but mobiles. You've made that transition. So yes, technology is changing, but we adapt, we change, we're dynamic. You can do that. The world's also becoming a more fragmented place, both politically and socially. You're learning alongside each other. The respectful, challenging debates that you've engaged in will have further developed your tolerance of each other and prepared you for the challenges you will come across from others who hold a differing view. You have the power and the capacity to improve social cohesion, even if it's in the circles that you move within. Graduates, finally, the friendships that you've formed, the lessons that you've learned, the experiences that you've all had are part of that rich tapestry of the time you've had at University Campus Doncaster. Cherish these memories. They are the building blocks of your character and a great asset to you as you build the next stages in your life and career. You may also not realise this yet, but you will be an inspiration to others. Do not underestimate the impact that your achievement has had on those around you. We sometimes have a tendency to downplay our achievements and not to draw attention to them, preferring sometimes to keep our heads down and just crack on. But today I encourage you to do the opposite. Be proud. Show the world that you've achieved, what you've achieved and what you can do. You've earned this right. So please enjoy your moment in the spotlight. It's absolutely deserved. Thank you all so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Danny. So, as Director of HE Academic Registry, it gives me great pleasure and is an absolute privilege to receive the candidates who successfully completed their studies in 2024-25 academic year. And I invite the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Becky Hamlet, from the University of Hull, to congratulate our graduates by shaking their hands as they walk across the stage. Becky, thank you. So, will the candidates please come forward to receive your awards? So our first programme today is the Foundation Degree in Animal Welfare Science. Please welcome to the stage Lucy Galton. Laura Hall. Hannah Robertson. Our next programme is a Foundation Certificate in People Practice, and this is Piper Gordon. Vicky Weston. Our next programme is Level 5 Associate Diploma in People Management, and this is Hallie Roberts. Priya Singh. Our next programme is a Level 5 Diploma in Management and Leadership, and this is Debbie Easter. And next is our Level 5 Diploma in Management and Leadership as well, which is Amy Ledger. Our next programme is the BA Honours in Business and Management, and this is Georgiana Tunsa. Next programme is the BA Honours in Leadership and Management in Integrated Services, and this is Catherine Bozanaki. Katie Mitchell. Next programme is the HNC, High National Certificate, in Construction Management, and this is Amanda Booth. Alex Wharton. Our next programme is the High National Certificate in Quantity Surveying, Joanne Gray. Next programme is a Higher National Certificate in Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Brett Doe. Our next programme is the BA Honours in Criminal Justice, Isabel Bartle. Emma Betts. Adam Cotton. Nicola Davison. Lucas Ginby. Rochelle Herbert. First year of the day, wonderful. Richard Michael Hill. Katie Hopcroft. Lisa Hughes. Elizabeth Merriman. Marvellous. Ashley Mitchell. Eleanor Mottershaw. Leanne Murphy. Wyonut Cosmin Petraru. Layla Redfern. Jane Smedley. Moving on to our next programme, it's a Higher National Certificate in Digital Technologies, Adam Fairbank. Another programme, BA Honours in English, Gabrielle Ashby. Bethany Louise Coxon. And now this is the BA Honours in Fine Arts and Crafts, Yasmin Innocent. Alicia Johnson. Emily Matthews. Margaret Richards. Jade Woodhouse. Now on to the Higher National Diploma in Animation Industry, Leah Howard. Now the BA Honours in Games Development, Curtis Brocklesby. Jack Budd. Thomas Dack. Liam Drummond. Owen Evans. Lauren Haddon. Hayden Irvine. Ethan Mitchell. Alfie Sargent. Mateusz Sitowski. Okay. Just one moment, we have more students waiting in the wings. So now a new course, which is a foundation degree in illustration and concept art, and this is Kian Crowther. Now the BA Honours in illustration and concept art, John Dudley. Mark Shaw. Chelsea Hampton. Thank you. And this is Apprenticeship and Sports Coach Apprenticeship, Finley Marsden. Next programme is BA Honours in Physical Education and Sports Coaching, Rio Allen. Kira Croft. Kieran Edgson. Ellie Mortimer. And now this is Diploma of Higher Education in Sport, Health and Exercise Science, Max Roberts. And now the BSc Honours in Sport, Exercise and Health Sciences, Josh Briggs. Connor Kavanagh. Ellie Herriot. Daniela Jones. Ashley McCreath. Connor McCrory. James Morgan. Adam Morrison. Regan Preston. Zach Rodney. Oliver Turnbull. Sophie Tyler. Simon Venimore. Kian Ward. Jade Weston. And that completes the awards to the candidates. I can now confirm that all candidates have received their awards. I would like to congratulate all our new graduates and ask them all to please stand, which I have done already, good. Honoured guests, staff, graduates, family, friends, please join me in applauding our graduates once more for their achievements. Well done. Thank you. And I'm sure our graduates would now like to show their appreciation for the people that have helped them along their way in completing their awards. So please turn to your family and friends and give them a round of applause, please, too. Fantastic, thank you. Please be seated. So we're now moving on to our Community Award presentation. And as we come together to celebrate the achievements of our graduates, we also take a moment to recognise the remarkable contributions made by individuals and organisations in our community. It is with great pride that we present our second annual University Campus Doncaster Community Award. This award highlights the invaluable role that organisations play in shaping a brighter future for our students and the broader Doncaster community. Through our ongoing partnership, we celebrate those who've demonstrated unwavering commitment to fostering growth, creativity and opportunity within our city. This year, we are thrilled to announce that the University Campus Community Award is presented to Art Bomb. So Art Bomb is an experimental arts festival and pop-up space in Doncaster, providing a dynamic platform for emerging artists, including our own students, and grassroots projects. Through street art workshops, collaborative growing projects, and, I apologise, lost my notes. Sorry, do give me a moment. There we go. Let's try that one again. So, through art workshops, collaborative growing projects and innovative community programmes, Art Bomb inspires creativity, participation and connection across the city. This award celebrates the vital contribution of Art Bomb to Doncaster's cultural landscape, transforming spaces, igniting dialogue and encouraging the community to explore pressing ideas around creativity, the environment and human connection. Through their dedication to experimentation and provocation, they have established a distinctive platform where art not only enriches but also challenges and inspires, leaving a lasting impact on both people and place. We're especially grateful for how Art Bomb supported our student community, offering emerging artists opportunities to showcase their work, experiment with new ideas, and engage with wider audiences. This generosity of platform and spirit makes a profound contribution to their development as the next generation of creative practitioners. Congratulations to Mike Stubbs, Art Bomb Creative Director, and Jenny Gilman, Programme Coordinator, whose vision and dedication continues to make Doncaster a richer, more vibrant place for us all. So please join me in welcoming Mike Stubbs and Jenny Gilman to the stage to accept their Community Award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
Right,
you.
take this back. Thank you. To me. You can have the,
Can you say a couple of words?
if you'd like to, absolutely. Please.
Okay. Great honour to receive this. Thank you very much. It's been a 7-year journey in Doncaster. I'm not born here. Jenny Gilman, myself, Stephanie at the Doncaster Unitarians, who's our host, opposite Flares, 60 Hallgate, tries to make people feel very welcome. It's an open organisation. There are actually quite a few people in the room who've exhibited there or volunteered there or gone on to actually do professional artwork in other settings, and staff too, so thank you. We hope this is an enduring relationship. For me personally, as someone who's born in a council house and should have been in the army but managed to get to art college, I think I really do want to say that don't copy anybody, do your own thing, and that if you just carry on persevering, you will succeed however you want to. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mike and Jenny. So we're now on to our guest speaker. So I'm delighted to welcome our guest speaker today, who is no stranger to overcoming challenges. Our guest speaker is a record-breaking adventurer, author, coach, charity founder from Chester, who as a teenager survived 2 big challenges on Mount Everest. But his biggest challenges have been a lot closer to home. Today he'll be sharing with us what he's learnt about success and resilience on his journey as you take the next steps on your journey. So please welcome to the stage Alex Staniforth.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here today, and it's a privilege to be a small part of such a special occasion, and a big well done to the class of 2025. Now, today is all about celebrating success and achievement, so you might wonder why they invited me when I failed Everest twice and every big mountain I've tried to climb. This is probably the closest I'll ever get to being a graduate. But actually today I want to share a short story about failure, about resilience, and about overcoming setbacks. Because all the graduates today have overcome their own challenges, whether that's financial, whether that's physical, health problems, mental, time management, technology, the list goes on. And from here on, life will throw challenges at us. Things will go wrong, probably when we least expect it. But I think we're not defined by what happens to us in life. We're defined by how we respond to those challenges, by how we get back up again, and by how we move forward. So today is a chance, I guess, to just stop and reflect on how far everyone here has come. Because often those mountains are actually a lot closer to home. It's not always about Everest and the big mountains. Now, 10 years ago, I never imagined that I'd be standing here speaking to over 300 people. I was born in Chester. I had a great start in life. Everything was fine. Everything was comfortable. I was really fortunate. Until I was about 9 years old, and I was diagnosed having epilepsy, which was a pretty terrifying thing to go through at such a young age. That led to anxiety and panic attacks. And I was a nervous wreck. I was afraid of being out of the house without my parents. Because kids are very kind and considerate, I was also relentlessly bullied throughout my entire time at school, because being different makes you a target. So I felt worthless. I was that kid that came last at sports day. I hated exercise. I was hopeless at sport. And here's the best part. I've also had a stammer ever since I've been able to speak, which comes and goes when it likes, just turns up to social events with no real purpose and gets on everybody's nerves. We all know that one person. And it can be so bad that I used to hide in the toilets at school because I was so terrified of speaking in class. I've always struggled to say words beginning with C and K, which isn't ideal when you're from Kelsall and now live in Kendal. Maybe that's why I haven't climbed Kilimanjaro yet, but I'm telling you all this not to feel sorry for me, not for self-pity, but because life gives us so many reasons not to take the step forward, so many excuses. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, I felt like I was a victim, like I was born to fail, like I wasn't good enough, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But it all changed when I was about 14, when I went on my first hill walk in the Lake District with my friend Tom and his family. And that day in the mountains just blew my mind. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it before. To realize there's a whole world out there. And to find that confidence and that freedom and that achievement that I'd never had at school. And finally realize that we can't always choose what's thrown at us in life. We can't choose our challenges, but we can choose our response to those challenges. And I wanted to find what else I could do. You know, what else could I overcome? And this random question popped into my head. Where is Mount Everest? Didn't have a clue. So I went home, went online, and came across a picture just like this one. And straight away, I knew that was exactly where I wanted to be. Standing on top of Everest seemed like the ultimate challenge, the ultimate goal to prove myself and to prove all those bullies wrong. Now, I know that might seem like a pretty extreme goal to have at 14 years old, but when you're 14, you're naive, you think you can take on the world. You know, we all make some bad decisions as teenagers. Now, you may have no desire to climb Everest, but I think everyone here has their own version of that. That one big goal or challenge that just scares us and excites us at the same time. Whether that's to travel the world or a career or buying a house or however big or small that seems. The hard part with those goals is always taking that first step. You know, life gives us lots of reasons not to. And just getting to Everest to actually achieve this goal was going to cost around $50,000. Now, my job as a pot washer at the Royal Oak wasn't going to pay for it. My parents weren't just going to sign me a check. My dad said that was a lot of money for a holiday, although he would say that being from Sheffield. So I'm going to have to find a way or make one. Unfortunately, I met this guy, Chris. And I'm just going to point out that was taken just after lockdown when all the hairdressers were still closed. Chris managed it somehow, but I found out that Chris was a coach and a counsellor. And I asked if we could have a chat one day, and this 16-year-old nervous Alex sat down with him and said, you know, I've got this goal to climb Everest. I don't have a clue where to start. And Chris kind of nodded and said, you know, I don't think you need to know all the steps. I think you've just got to start and find the way. And Chris became my first mentor, the first person who really believed in me and saw the potential. And together we made a plan. We realized that corporate sponsorship was the only option I had to raise this huge amount of money in such a short space of time. And in March 2014, I was lucky enough to fly out to Nepal on that first Everest expedition at 18 years old. Let's just say things didn't quite go to plan. A day before we got to base camp, there was a massive avalanche which killed 16 people. Had to pack up and go home without stepping a single foot on the mountain. Now, obviously, we've got no right to complain. We're going home safe to our families, and that's really all that matters. But what do we do now? Well, you quickly learn from the outdoors that so much in life is outside of our control, whether that's the weather, the pandemic, the traffic, the economy, what's happening in the world around us. The three things we can always control is our mindset, our effort level, and where we focus our attention. So this was just a chance to go home, to focus on training, to give ourselves the best possible chance of success. And in 2015, we were back for take 2. This one didn't go much better. And we left base camp in the early hours of the morning for camp 1. To get there, we have to move through the icefall, which is the most dangerous part of the entire route. I'm just going to show you a quick GoPro video to explain why. and breathe. My mum still hasn't seen that video. But if I was to ask you all whether you would cross that ladder, everyone always says, no way. What if the ladder breaks? What if the rope snaps? What if I fall off? What will people think? I think maybe the same reason is why we don't always take a step towards our goals. We get paralyzed by fear about what could happen, what could go wrong. And instead of taking that step, instead of worrying about what could happen, maybe we need to ask, what could happen if we don't take the step, take the chance, do the course, ask the question, have the conversation, do the thing that feels uncomfortable. But that day was one of the bad days. That day, it felt like I'd never been on a mountain in my life. We were moving up to Camp 1, and I was so knackered that I didn't actually feel the ground shaking. I didn't feel the earthquake that's just hit Nepal and taken over 9,000 lives. All I remember was hearing this huge crack above my head, the sound of ice breaking off the mountain. Behind that, you've got this distant primal roar of an avalanche coming straight for us. Panic set in. And for the first time in my life at 19, I'm thinking, this is it. Any second now, it's just going to go black. There's nothing I can do but stand and take it. But fortunately, the debris never came. We just got hit by a massive blast of powder. And our team pretty miraculously made it to Camp 1 unharmed. Now we're stuck on the mountain at 6,000 meters. We're camping higher than Kilimanjaro. The route down to base camp's gone. We're told we could be there for a week. We've got food for a day or 2 days at most. Every half an hour, we've got more aftershocks hitting us from both sides. Next day, someone in the tent next to me shouts, "Hey guys, is the Wi-Fi still working?" As if things couldn't get any worse. Because we had no idea that actually base camp had been hit by a much bigger avalanche, triggered by the earthquake. Our home on the mountain was just gone. It's like a plane crash, like a bomb blast. We spent 2 days walking around trying to salvage anything we could, and then we realized that had we not left base camp, had we not taken that risk and taken that step, I wouldn't be standing here speaking to you today. Now, I was always terrified of failure. We're taught that failure is a bad thing, to avoid it at all costs. Failure wasn't even an option until you realize that sometimes things are outside of our control. But actually, failure sometimes teaches us something more important. It gives us a chance to think differently, to try new things. I think the only real failure is not taking that step, and it's not getting back up again. Because not reaching that goal actually opened up opportunities that I never even anticipated, like speaking and writing books and starting a charity, Mind Over Mountains, which is that's a mental health charity which combines hill walking and coaching and counselling and mindfulness and just gives people that safe space to walk and talk. We have a brilliant team who deliver events all across the country so that people don't have to wait for months or years on a waiting list to get the help that they need and deserve. And it's led to new challenges, which my mum was a lot happier about, like climbing on National Free Peaks, but this time trying to run the entire thing, about 450 miles and 17 marathons in 9 days. I wouldn't recommend it for obvious purposes, and I'd never doubted myself as much in my life. By day 2, I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. Day 5, I could barely run more than 10 meters at a time from the pain in my shins. I had sponsors emailing me telling me to stop. But on the final day, I set off at 3 a.m, trying to run the final stretch to finish in Snowdon in record time. Now, maybe some of you students felt the same way. The end's in sight, you just want to get this thing over with. And I wanted the same for that challenge. Until I woke up in a bus stop in Capel Curig, and then in my mum's car. I had a great time. And after all those marathons and all those miles, I missed the record by 1 hour. 1 hour. And you might think that's a failure. But is that a failure? I hadn't hit my objective. But I think it's always better in life to set the bar too high and to fall slightly short than to set the bar too low and hit it every time. Otherwise, we'll never find out what we're capable of doing. But if that wasn't bad enough, this guy knocked an entire day off my time. But I supported Ben for a few miles on his own Free Peaks challenge a few years ago. And Ben is a personal trainer in the Royal Marines. You can kind of tell which one spends time in the gym, can't you? And yet, it's so easy to compare ourselves on the journey to people on social media who appear to be stronger or faster or more successful than we are. we've got to run our own race. Everyone's dealing with something. All we can do is challenge ourselves to be better every single day. So finally, this year, I decided it'd be a good idea to try and run and cycle all 446 mountains in England and Wales in one push. Entirely human-powered, about 3,000 kilometres, 100,000 metres of ascent. Now, the previous record was 6 months. I couldn't take 6 months off work, so I had to try and do this as fast as I could in 45 days. And there were many days like this one. Cold, wet, scared, alone, exhausted. When I pulled my hamstring about a week in, couldn't even lift my leg to 90 degrees without pain. How on earth am I going to carry on and climb mountains every day? And we all have those moments of doubt and imposter syndrome, where we think it's all over, when we can't see the top of the mountain. But we have to remember that we've already survived 100% of our worst days. Sometimes we've just got to take it one day, one mountain, one step at a time, and we will get there. But in the tough moments, we also need the people around us. The people who believe in us when we don't always believe in ourselves. I wouldn't have got to that final peak, bang on schedule, without the people behind me. I'm sure it's the same for you. Your friends, your family, your partners, your tutors, the staff, everyone who had your back. But before I even got down that final mountain, people asked me, so, what's next? I was like, give me a week. But I want to ask you the same question to all the students. What's your next step? Where will you go from here? You've opened so many opportunities and doors, and sometimes you don't know where to go. But whichever path you take, don't be afraid of failure and things going wrong. Because the only real failure is not trying in the first place. Sometimes we've just got to start and find a way. And don't be afraid of challenges. Embrace them. Trust yourself and trust the people around you that you can not only overcome those challenges, but actually come through them stronger. Enjoy the journey. I'm looking forward to seeing what you achieve next. And if you take nothing else away from my talk today, don't climb Everest if I'm there. Thank you and well done.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. Amazing inspirational stories and lots we can reflect on and learn from. Thank you very much. Once again, Alex Seinfeld, please. Well, that now brings us to the close of our ceremony this morning. So on behalf of University Campus Doncaster, I would like to thank all teaching staff, their dedication and excellence, and the staff who have organised and operated today's event. So hands together, please, for the organising committee. And that concludes our ceremony. So on behalf of everyone here, I would like to sincerely thank all of our guests for joining us and celebrating this special milestone. So what we're going to do is we'll ask graduates to please stand as we make our exit. So the stage will go first and then graduates will follow afterwards. So ladies and gentlemen, please, one more round of applause for our graduates then.